Jack Links presents Messing with Brock Squatch.
Why does this keep happening? Squatchy McElroy? What am I gonna tell Mom, Squatch? It was just a baby.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for Box Score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Brock Squatch cannot seem to catch a break. McLovin, do you have a story about a prank that maybe went wrong?
You know, we tend to try a lot of things here at the Man Cave. More have gone right than wrong, but one time I had this little phase where I would throw dodgeballs at Seton when he was getting out of the box. And one time it just went too far and they were almost fisticuffs.
Very close.
I would say it was very close. But, you know, we both had young children at the time. I don't even remember that 3-year span. I don't think, you know, Seton does either. So it was a different time. Wow, is that real?
Yeah, that looks real. I mean, who won there?
That's in regular speed, too. That's not slow motion.
I think the audience was. That is one of my many occasions where I've shown way too much crack on national television.
But if you couldn't see that, Brock, if you looked at the other camera, you could see me not trying to break it up to see what happens.
That's just good producing. Seton, I think someone was messing with you like they've been messing with Brock Squatch because you were having some trouble on the 1s and 2s this morning.
Heard it. You have it combined. Power and efficiency united. Check out ramtrucks.com. Guts, Glory, Ram. We'll get to your phone calls, decide on a poll question.
My number 5, drum roll please.
Seton! He screwed that up too. Season premiere of Shark Hunters tomorrow. Seton.
Yeah?
Kind of an abrupt end there.
Okay.
With the music. You all right today?
Yeah, I'm
Been a
great.
bad day for you, technically speaking.
Man, sometimes you're the winner, sometimes you're the loser. I'll take credit for 2 of those mistakes. The other 2, I'm not going to take the blame for. But yeah, you know, sometimes you just have an itchy trigger finger, and like 99% of the world has no idea that you just messed up, except for a handful of people in this room, and then maybe other people who are listening extremely close.
Now, Brock, if you saw when it was supposed to be a drum roll and a rim shot was hit, that was my mistake. But it's much better TV and radio if I let Seton take the blame.
Right. Yeah, that's why I just rolled with it, because it was like, what am I going to get into this whole, no, it wasn't me thing? Like, all right, yeah, I'll just let me blame. And then the music running out abruptly, you know, there's time where I'm like, hey, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. And sometimes the music runs out, and maybe I could have been a little better at fading it out, but would have been a lot more helpful if I had a little bit more time to work with on that. It takes somebody really long to get back into his seat.
When you say somebody, I got the feeling...
Might be
Here we go, we're back. We're back. We're back, and there's like, you know, hundreds of radio stations waiting all this time for somebody to get in his seat and start talking.
Build some anticipation.
Man, see, you're the only one who can get away with criticizing Dan, and you see...
What? I don't think so. I mean, you should do it sometime, and then see if you can get away with it.
I don't know. I'd rather not. I'll let you take that
You're not going to take a chance?
That's all right.
Seton, it was a bit of a rough start for you this morning, but just when things were bad, they got much worse.
I got to get... You're going to... I've never done this in mid-show.
Actually, that's not true. You've done it to me before. But
I have
anyway,
done it. I need to get Can you get Seaton's picture 2 days? Least valuable Danette.
Dude.
No,
I don't know why. I know.
You got a bad start,
so far,
dude.
I'm 2 for 2
You
today.
got a bad start.
I got the yips, dude. All of a sudden, my finger just twitches and boom. I think that's a little unnecessary, but whatever.
I think that was harsh. The least valuable Danette, as we all know, it's a body of work over several weeks' time, a month to be exact, of screwing up more often than not. You know, had a rough day, a couple of buttons were hit or weren't hit, whatever the case may be, 99.999% of the time, and I mentioned that to Dan when I went into the box. Everything works out very, very smoothly. There's a lot of technical things that can go wrong, and in the course of a period of time, I think Seaton does a great
Tom,
job.
Why are you supporting Seaton? He's off. Remember, he tried to get rid of Mock Headlines?
I understand that. I'm taking the high road, and I'm just
well, that's one of Seaton's better moves.
Calling it as I see it today to quickly decide that he's least valuable Danette off of that.
I think the problem is, you're Mr. Consistency, and Dan really expects perfection out of me because that's what he usually gets. And the days that I'm off, it's really shocking for him. So he immediately goes over to the wall, puts me as LVD, even though I'm a 3-time MVD. That's you're sort of on warning, double secret probation kind of thing.
And it's a tough spot, as Seaton mentioned earlier in his defense, and rightfully so. You could do a million things right, and it's just expected or it's ignored, and you don't pick up on it. But as soon as something's not just right, it immediately puts out a red flag that there's something up, and you immediately know that when something's not sounding right or it wasn't hit on time or what have you, that it's something that Seaton did wrong, but doesn't get credit for all the other things that he's fixing quietly behind the scenes or doing right. So that was way too abrupt to change the least valuable Danette.
That wasn't abrupt.
That explanation was not abrupt.
Yeah, I thought we'd hit the buzzer by now. DP did dish out some early punishment mid-show, so we asked him if Seaton's picture really deserved to be by least valuable Danette. Let's see what Dan said in this edition of Boss's Thoughts.
It was well earned, that's for sure. I mean, if Seaton was trying to be least valuable Danette, I don't know if he could have gone about it any different than the way he did. It was like classic bad radio. It was well done. I mean, it was some of the more embarrassing thing. Guys around the nation who do this for a living probably going, "Are you kidding me? That screw up? Look at that! What a loser!"
Indeed.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All the people at ESPN Radio who Seaton backstabbed probably going.
It's like if you're up on that shelf, you should be embarrassed.
Yes.
And you should be ashamed for your effort.
Absolutely.
With today's show. Man, it was driving me nuts. I was up there for like 2 hours, probably over 2 hours. He was standing right next to it like 5 different times, and I'm like, holy crap, dude, look at the shelf. Would you just please? I'm trying to get a reaction out of this dude. And he just didn't see it, so eventually it was like, all right, well, the show's almost over. And
Here it is.
Sure wouldn't be great if this happened like an hour after we were off the air. So yeah, I kind of had to like, hey, look, I put your picture up there instead.
That's a good job bouncing back to Seaton, but how do you plan on to continue the greatness tomorrow?
Man, you'll have to tune in to find out, because I can certainly mess up a whole lot of other stuff.
Welcome back to the Box Score. I'm sure you guys are all loving and doting fathers, but McLovin posed this interesting question to the boss that got this intriguing debate going.
Could you work for your son?
At what age, though?
Say in 5 years.
Like 5 years from now? Yeah. Yeah, I could.
I think that'd be tough.
Well, but if I know there's a point where you're proud, where you just kind of co-sign on the fact that you raised him correctly, and he did well. So there's no better way of saying, hey, I believe in you, than you're going to be my boss.
That's interesting. See, I think Dan's in a different boat. Dan has bosses in a sense, but he's more partners with his bosses. Like, he doesn't really answer to anyone because he's a one-man brand. So I don't think he knows what it's like to have a boss. I don't think he could report to his son. Well, I guess he said he could. I don't think I could. I mean, I have 2 daughters who are 4 and 2. So unless they fast-track the executive rise to stardom,
Although you
that's
could
never
actually
happened
say
for
that
me.
we're already working for our kids.
Yes.
Yes. But Dan's son, I do see as a future Hollywood exec. He kind of reminds me of Robert Evans in The Player. He's got a little bit of that, and I mean that as a compliment.
If the position's genuinely earned and it's not nepotism and the individual has a strong background, then you respect it, whether it's your kid or what have you, that or they're significantly younger than you, then you got to you got to accept it.
Fritzy, you're anti-nepotism?
I'm not big on nepotism, but I think I know where you're going with that, and I'll.
No, I'm curious.
It's a lot of positions are gotten on off of relationships and nepotism. That's just the way things go. But the person ultimately has to prove that they can do the job, whether they got in through some other means or because of their last name.
McLovin, could you ever see yourself working for one of your daughters or maybe both of them someday?
Oh my God, my daughters boss me around like there's no tomorrow. I mean, I'm as close to a robot in my house as any human can be. Daddy, I want you to go get that milk. Daddy, do this. Daddy, do that. So I definitely would feel comfortable in that.
Yeah, boy, like Seton said, our kids kind of boss us around already just without the paycheck. You know what? If one of our kids is good enough at something to be that successful at a young age, God bless them. Good luck. I would, it's one of those things.
Lane Kiffin, his dad.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin was 30 years old, and his father was his defensive coordinator. He actually had to let his father go at USC. Now that's a tougher situation. What if you had to fire your own kid, or your kid had to fire you? Can you imagine that? But I mean, I've seen it in this business. It's not the first time it's happened. There's a guy here who, no, I won't say it.
If your kid makes it to a high level and is in the same profession as you and climbed up the ranks, fair and square, and proved that they can handle that position, I would not have any problem working for my son or daughter.
Yeah, no problem working for my kid. I think he's awesome. I think he's really smart and way smarter than me already, and definitely takes after his mom. So yeah, that would be awesome to have him finally start earning some dough.
Yeah.
What are you slacking for?
Kids bet on the scholarship.
Hopefully your kids will all take care of you. Up next, is it worth or worthless? We'll play the NFL edition. Stick around. Welcome back to the Box Score. NFL training camp is in full swing, so we wanted to get you guys ready for the season. We searched online auctions high and low, found some cool items, not for you, but for your row buddy, to show his team spirit. Let's see if you can tell us how much it's worth in this NFL edition of
Worth or Worthless?
We'll show you an item that sold during an online auction. You simply need to tell us how much it was worth within $20. Let's start. In the front row, our first item is for Seton. Paulie can fill this up with his favorite beverage while watching his Bears do battle with their rivals in the NFC North. It's a vintage William Refrigerator Perry glass. Seton, how much is something like this worth?
So you threw in the word vintage,
yeah,
which is interesting. It feels like something you had to get at the gas station right in the height of all this stuff that makes it really worth something.
I have 4 of them, so
I'm gonna say it's worth $5.99. $5.99.
Well, within the range, it's $14.99.
Nicely done.
Only $10 off. Next up, we got one for McLovin. This should come in handy for Fritzy on some trips to New York. It's a Denver Bronco Mile High Magic Rally Towel. McLovin, what would something like this go for?
A towel Fritzy hasn't.
A Bronco masturbation towel. That's fantastic. I didn't know they had those.
I just hope that's not from the Super Bowl
Fritzy
because
can't wait to devalue it as soon as he gets
it. Deface it and devalue it.
I think a memento from the.
That's for Ed, and that one was made for left-handers. How about that?
It's got a handy little ring that you can clamp it right to your belt and then just have it ready for whenever you need it.
Housekeeping, Mr. Fritzy. Housekeeping.
Brock, is this a Fritzy worn towel? Is this been used?
Game used.
If it's game used, then it's worth it. I'll pay $10 to never have to touch this. But if it's brand new, I'll go $7.99.
Well, within the range, $14.95 is the correct answer.
including Todd's DNA.
Nice.
Oh, dude.
Back to the front row, Paulie. Seton can display this in his man cave to make a few fans jealous. It's an autographed Tom Brady jersey. Paulie, how much is it worth?
Autographed Tommy? Well, priceless. I don't know what number you put on priceless. Man, that looks really expensive. The jersey itself's probably like $250. I'm gonna go $499.
Whoa.
Wow. I mean, not too bad. It's $405 is what we were looking for. $405.
Dude.
Pretty good,
Undervalued.
though.
Well done.
And the Broncos towel still worthless. And finally, Fritzy. He may not be on the Eagles anymore, but McLovin can still show his love for former man crush Kevin Kolb with this authentic Kevin Kolb jersey. How much was dropped for this collectible?
Authentic.
A blank jersey would be $20.
I'm going to say that is $37.63.
Just off. It's $59.99. I cannot my math off, so I'm sorry.
30?
Oh. $59.99.
Just missed it by a couple of bucks.
Well, good job, guys. Now you know what to get each other for birthdays and anniversaries. Please stay with us. We're going to break down some funky moves in the back row after this.
I actually think that if McLovin went a week or two ahead of Fritzy and they teamed up together to have back row mustaches, would do a ton for their brand.
Yeah.
They would have like a month to themselves. Fritzy could grow a mustache by like 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Starsky and Yuck.
Starsky and Yuck, yeah.
Maybe not.
Welcome back to the Box Score. Last call here at the Box Score Bar. Yesterday, we toyed with the idea of tandem back row mustaches. Fritzy, you shaved your body clean. Are you ready to grow some hair on your face now?
Not really. If it's something that McLovin was really into, and we we wanted to do it as a duo. I don't think I look great with.
So you're saying if McLovin was really into it, you'd do it?
I would consider it. I'm not gonna be.
How hard is it to not shave your upper lip?
It's not whether it's hard or not. It's very itchy. It's uncomfortable, especially while it's still summertime. I'm not into that look. It ends up coming across like a porn mustache, or like that neighbor that Will Forte played on Saturday Night Live, where he's like some type of molester walking around.
Yeah, you're nothing like that.
Not at all. I'm not
No one can see you in that role.
Not rushing to do that anytime soon.
Well, it'd certainly look good if you guys took the dance party on the road. You two were getting down this morning. McLovin showed us those patented dance moves. And then Mr. Todd Fritz joined in. How about it, McLovin? Do you think you can get Fritzy to be part of a tandem dance and stash back row duo?
I think this is the single worst idea I've ever heard in my life, Brock. It's kind of like that Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley, male dancer sketch, except we're both Chris Farley.
That was just.
Or it's more like, instead of Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze, it's Chris Farley and Dustin Diamond, aka Screech from Saved by the Bell. So I think this is it's a really awful idea. But I do love that the song was Rocky Top. And Fritzy immediately gave him one of this.
I went from rap to like ballet or something. That was just a.
Brock,
yeah, what
it's
happened?
Brock, it's too bad we couldn't see that video again. I really would love to see them dancing some more.
I don't think we really captured it first.
No, I would love to really break it down.
You want it? We got it.
Really at the pace.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh.
See, this is where it gets real right here.
This is the dancing
This
bear.
guy
Throwing the hips
Fritzy
in it.
goes Sound of Music on us right now.
That's some kind of Ralph Cramden.
Yeah.
Honeymooners dance.
Why are you spitting?
There's a little bit of like kind of flash dance in there with the first spin, and then he just tumbled through the woods.
Yeah, straight out of
It's like
Interlochen.
you discovered yourself in that dance. Like,
Yeah,
like
I
the
finally
real Todd
felt
Fritz.
free.
You're like a caterpillar in a cocoon, and then a butterfly broke
It
out.
just freed me. That was extremely strange and horrific.
Oh my goodness.
Good times.
Oh, the hips don't lie. Fritzy, who is on tomorrow? Since I hear you got someone.
Tomorrow we will talk to Jordy Nelson, Packers wide receiver, Richard Justice of MLB.com, as we get ready for the Major League Baseball trade deadline, and we may hear from Byron Scott as well.
Excellent. Okay, thanks for watching the Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on IONS Channel 239, right here on DirecTV. Cheers.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you.
Because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!